Guys, how you doing today? This is Melissa, and I have a channel here talking about helping other women choose motherhood. And this is really my perspective on things, and not only my perspective that abortion is absolutely wrong. It is never okay. It doesn't matter what the motive is. It doesn't matter what the intention is. It is never ever okay. So, what I'm doing is this is, my perspective on something that's really wrong and awful. So, moving forward, I want to talk about the money side, and I want to talk about how do you do this? How do you, as a woman, when you cannot afford to have children, how do you do it? And definitely, if a lot of girls come from relationships with boyfriends who are abusive, or they definitely, use them, or trick them into a pregnancy. I mean, many times we hear pro-lifers say, if you don't want a baby, then keep your legs shut. But I really find that is something that really still doesn't address the problem. Many girls do not know better. They have no idea, especially if the boy is older, especially if they come from a home where um, sexual promis being promiscuous is okay. That is the culture that we live in. So, even if you're being responsible and you've been thrown on the pill after an abortion, or you've had a condom break or whatever, it is just not so simple. So I understand where girls are coming from, that it's not so simple. And what we want to do is we really want to help girls. And sometimes we can have like a narcissist mother, or a mother who does not feel equipped to deal with this. But what we want is we want healthy mother daughter relationships. And we want to be able to talk to our daughters, to be able to say, or our sons, and be able to say, hey, this is the situation, this is why this took place, this is how it happened. I know for me, when I was pregnant, nobody really asked what happened. So making those decisions without really knowing, having better skills to solve things. Many times we get in situations even later in life where, family will cut in, they won't mind their own business, they will try to take over, and in the name of help, be pretty controlling. And when I say this, what I'm talking about is like later on, we had a situation with family where we had to get out of an apartment. We had another one on the way, the second one, and family offered to, you know, co-sign a mortgage for us. They actually offered. We were not really asking, but I think they felt as grandparents they wanted to do something like that, or as our parent and in-laws. But it really wasn't a healthy situation. We definitely could have gotten a different apartment, or we could have found our own solutions. So when you want to be in a relationship with your kids, you want the communication. You want to be able to be by your daughter's side. You don't want to be against her. Terry Apter has a book about toxic mothers, and mother in laws, and how many times they can be accusing, blame, critical, and they really don't know how to come alongside and offer healthy relationship. So I would say this is like the root of many abortions, that the girls don't have a healthy relationship with their mothers. And many times those mothers didn't have a healthy relationship with their mothers. I know from my mother, just the situation with, her mother having her marriage annulled, and being from the projects, it's not healthy. And even, my mother-in-law, with having her mother not have a good relationship there. So this goes on from generation to generation, and we want to be able to turn this around. And how do we do this? And I think the best thing you can do is to stay home, usually with your kids. And as you heal from abortion to turn things around and really change things for the next generation. Also, if you're in that situation and you have no help, and I'm looking to start a book and talk about this. You look back at your younger self and you say, what could have been different? And if you don't have help, there is nothing at all that could have changed. And you have to be able to say, okay, this was wrong. God meant, you meant it for evil. God meant it for good. A lot of times parents try to hide, you know, um, try to cover up the shame they are thinking that was there, or save face is what I'm thinking of. And on one hand, they may not know, but on the other hand, they did know. They did know exactly what they were doing, and they wanted to save their image from, the shame of having a daughter who's pregnant. So many times you want to be able to, what's the word? What am I saying? Just be able to, if look back, and if you have had an abortion, be able to heal and look back and say, what could have been done different. And again, sometimes there's nothing that could have been done. It was a quick decision, and you have to be able to say nothing could have been done. You didn't know. You were a kid. You didn't know. Other times when people are using you in that situation, you have to be able to look back and again say, this was allowed. I was allowed to have this happen to me. I don't understand why, but it was allowed. But even better than that would be to, one thing I always wanted to do was help one girl not having an abortion. So if you are somebody who is pregnant and it's unexpected, I would highly recommend that you reach out to somebody. And if you're being shamed and told or manipulated to quickly, hurry up and, phone calls are being made, or you really don't understand what an abortion is. I know a lot of times we trust the adults in our lives and we trust that they're making the right decision. But we have so much technology nowadays that you can actually, look it up. You can find out what exactly it is. And it's just something I think nowadays where girls did not know, now many girls do know. So when you're making that decision, you really do need to look at the other side, and you really need to think about, and what I hope too is to use my story to help girls choose to do better for themselves. It is not healthcare. It is not something that's okay to do. It's a regret you will live with all your life. Okay, so thanks for joining me. And again, I hope to reach out to girls, and it's something that is definitely wrong no matter what. So choose to give life, have your baby, or give the child up for adoption. Okay, thanks for joining me.